we're being asked the question, how do you want to share your love before you die? And it seems a little morbid, but I think it brings things into perspective, is the feeling I get. And kind of stripping away all of, I'm hearing the word bullshit, but like clearing it all off. Like, how do you want to love, or how do you want to share your love before you die? And you can go to a lot of places with that. You can go to a lot of places with that. And we're going to start with the place of, how do you want to share your love with yourself before you die? We are here for such a short period of time. We waste so much energy on things that really do not matter at all. At all. And they do matter, but they don't matter. And it's remembering that they don't matter in the big scheme of things, but also knowing that they do matter in the small scheme of things, so that you can remain your perspective, keeping perspective on, how much energy we're wasting. And so when we realize that it really doesn't matter, the things that we're stressing over or getting upset over or blaming others for or blaming ourselves for, or staying in a cycle of self-criticism, you start to realize it's such a waste of energy. All the things you're criticizing yourself for, stressing over, or think are this huge deal, they might really seem like it in this reality, but ultimately they're not a big deal at all. And that doesn't mean you judge yourself for making a big deal of it or wasting all the energy. That is not the point, is not the point. That is not the point. The point is bringing awareness to the truth of it, that it really doesn't matter. And how do you want to spend, or how do you want to share your love before you die? It would be so beautiful if we could love ourselves the way we are loved ultimately by Source, Creator, God, Jesus, whatever word you need to insert to connect to your infinite source. How do you want to share your love before you die? Can you come inside and start to love yourself in a way that you are ultimately loved? You are so guided. You are so in the exact perfect moment wherever you are right now. If it's not the right moment, you won't be there anymore. You'll be somewhere else. And then that's the perfect moment. So it's bringing the presence to the exact moment so that we can unravel and be our true essence, which is love. So how can we share that love before we die? How can you find that love within yourself before you die? We can answer the question with how do you want to share your love before you die by thinking of other people, right? That's the norm. That's what we do, right? It's always about other people, when it's really only about ourselves. Other people are affected by us if we are loving and nourishing and nurturing and accepting ourselves. We vibrate that. We vibrate truth. We vibrate love. And then people are affected by that. They feel that. Then they can start to feel it for themselves. So it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful when we can start to share the love that we deserve with ourselves. Because we can't ultimately unconditionally love someone else unless we love ourselves. It's just not possible. You'll always come up to a roadblock. You'll always come up to an expectation. You'll always come up to a judgment. You'll always come up to I should have, she should have, he should have. All the crap. All the crap. All the crap. You'll always come to it unless you find that deep peace and share that love with yourself. And any time you're finding yourself having ruckus outside of yourself in relationship, there's something going on inside of you. Can you bring yourself back in? Can you spend time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes with yourself, breathing, asking yourself what you need? What can you give yourself? How can you validate yourself? How can you nourish yourself? How can you love yourself? It's not going to come from outside of you. Ever, ever, ever. You might get the blessing of having that, right? Of having that every once in a while, or a lot more than once in a while. But then what happens if it goes away, or that other person isn't doing well, or that other person passes away? Then you need to seek out someone else to love you for you to be okay? No. We have to find that within. How can we share our love before we die? Let's bring it into perspective. All these other things are experiences and blessings, but ultimately it's all within that relationship of loving and accepting, and then you feel the connection and you see how you are everyone around you. You are the other person. We are all one. But we have to learn that through loving ourselves. It brings clarity. It brings wisdom. It brings a knowing. It brings a neutrality. It brings a fluidity. It's beautiful. So that's your simple practice this week. Let me know how it goes. I would love to hear. Yeah, if anyone ever wants to give feedback or ask questions, I would love to hear. That would be beautiful. Yeah, that would be beautiful. All right, so let's pull a card from a crystal deck. Septarian. I love Septarian, also known as dinosaur egg. Confidence, heaven sent inspiration. How beautiful is that? Confidence and heaven sent inspiration. It lets good come to you. You have clear guidance from God, the angels, source, spirit, creator, your guides, whatever feels in perfect alignment with you, of love. But it's feeling that connection, that higher vibration that you can feel and communicate with. Angels, teachers, we are so guided and we are so supported, and you really start to see that it's like, whoa, it's like overwhelming and humbling and just so beautiful to see how truly supported we are, how loved we are. If we could only flip that love within and really feel it for ourselves. Okay, that's the ticket. Is there anything else? Oh, it brings abundance, which to me is also receiving, allowing the fluidity we talked about earlier. okay? So, yeah. So just ask your question, let the vibration kind of permeate into you of how do I want to share my love before I die? Before your time here is done. How do you want to share it? How do you want to be? All right. I hope you have an amazing week. I love connecting with you, and I so look forward to connecting with you